friends, and welcome to Lisa's Kitchen. Today we are going to make pasta fagioli. Growing up, we used to call it pasta fazool. I'm sure that's slang. It's essentially soup with beans. It has a little bit of pasta and garlic. It's very simple, but as usual, it's big on flavor and super healthy. So let's begin. I'm going to start out with 2 cloves of garlic. Where we're going to, what are we doing with them, Artie?
We smash them.
We whack them.
I'm sorry, we whack them.
we whack them. Just a little rough chop like that. In the meantime, let's put the fire on, get the pot heated up. I'm going to also throw in 2 bay leaves, fresh bay leaves. I will turn on the water for the pasta. Throw in some salt. Kosher salt will go in. Start out with some olive oil in the pot. Glug of olive oil. That's probably 3 or 4 tablespoons of olive oil right there. Bay leaves will go in, and the garlic. We do not want the garlic to take on any color. Just when it starts to sizzle and starts to cook, we'll throw in the beans. I always start to season from the ground up. So some salt, a little bit of dried oregano, a little granulated garlic will go in, some black pepper. I could hear the garlic is starting to just sizzle. And a little bit of red pepper flake. Grated cheese, olive oil, it's all good for the soul. You can hear that this is sizzling. You can also see that it's sizzling. I love the way it smells when it first starts to cook. The smell of garlic and these spices, delicious. I'm throwing in the beans, the whole can. I do want hear that noise? That's the noise you want it to make. I'm going to try not to say incorporate so much this week. Since you pointed out, I always say incorporate all the time. Let me just give that a little stir like that. I decided that I'm going to throw in, I have some Parmesan cheese here that I bought a couple weeks ago. I always save the rinds. The rinds are great to season stocks or soups or something like this. I'm going to throw that Parmesan in there so that it gets sort of a really nice Parmesan flavor. And in a few minutes, I will throw in the chicken stock. Let me just cover this for a second. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to put in pancetta. So since I didn't do it when I started, it's fine. You can always backtrack. So we've got some pancetta here. I like to put a little pork something or other into my pasta fazool, but I am going to keep saying pasta fazool because that's what it was called when I grew up eating it. I ate it as a kid all the time. And I will now throw in just some pancetta. Oh, there we go. That's the sizzle. I didn't season the beans yet, so I'm going to do that now. Salt, oregano, pepper, garlic, red pepper flake. Oh, my pancetta is doing nicely. I make my own chicken stock. It's really so easy to make. You just take some whatever chicken you like, chicken breast, chicken thighs, and you can put it into a crock pot, which I do because it's easier, and then I also have 4 little dogs, so they get to eat the chicken. Or you can put it in a pot and let it cook in a pot, but a crock pot's easy because you set it, you forget it, you can go on with your day. The chicken, it's a little cumin, and I put a little bit of turmeric in here, and then I season it for whatever use I'm using it for, whatever soup or risotto or whatever it might be. If I were to buy chicken stock, and I do from time to time, my favorite chicken stock it's called Cook's Kitchen. It's yellow, it's a yellow box, and so I call it stock in a box. And that by far is the best boxed chicken stock that I think you could buy. The beans are boiling, starting to boil, and I'm very carefully going to take my pancetta and throw it into the soup. Just like that. Now we will put in our stock. There's that. Let me give this a stir. That looks beautiful. I know that this needs more seasoning because there's no seasoning in the stock that I just put in there. I'm only gonna put in just a little bit more salt, not a lot of salt. Just a little bit more pepper. This is again for the stock part of it, not the other parts of it. A little bit more oregano, a little bit more garlic, and just a pinch of red pepper flake. I don't want this to be too spicy. I know I put in a little piece of a block of Parmesan cheese, but I'm going to put in about a little bit of grated cheese. That's probably 3 tablespoons of grated cheese that I just threw in there. And now this needs to cook. So this has to cook at least, I'm gonna say at least 20 minutes. And it'll change, it'll thicken up a little bit. Pasta's done, and the soup is also basically done. So at this point, I am going to fish out the bay leaves, the elusive bay leaf. Okay, there it is. I'm going to put the pasta in. I'm going to just buzz it a little bit with my handheld blender. I just want to buzz it just to thicken it a little bit, buzz the beans. I've had this for many years. If you don't have one of these, I definitely think you should get one. And now we will take the pasta with the slotted spoon, put the pasta into the soup. There we go. Pasta. I only used a half a pound of pasta, not a whole pound of pasta. It would have been too much. I used Trophy. And see, now the broth is thicker. It came together very nicely. The longer that this sits, the better this is going to taste. I always say that food marries. Very hot. Yummy.
Yum, yum, yum. Wow.